What's going on, everyone? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This is going to be a list video of 16 games you can buy at GenCon and some that I think are notable and I want to mention and talk about. I will be at GenCon next week. If you see me, shout out me, let me know. I would love to say hi. We can maybe play a game, get a bite to eat, talk. I would love that. So let me know if you're going to be there. Let's get this video going because I don't want this to be too long and I want this to be a good reference to you while you're walking the halls. 16 of these games, 12 of them are... Actually, I think four of these I already own. 12 of them are new games that I think are notable to mention that you can purchase there. Let's get this video going with the first one. The very first game is going to be The Boys. This is going to hurt by First Games. Keep in mind, big disclaimer here. They don't have a booth. First Games will not have a booth at the con. They were not going to have a booth. The way you get this game is by buying a ticket on GenCon, right? You're going to buy a ticket for the event for The Boys, which is going to get you a copy of the game, a demo, as well as a pre-order. You're going to be pre-ordering the new expansion coming out in the future. So keep that in mind. This game specifically is going to be a game that you're going to be rolling dice. Rolling dice is the biggest thing about it. Rolling dice to aim for a specific number to do a specific thing. And that is going to be to kill Homelander. If you haven't watched the show is pretty brutal. So keep that in mind when you watch it. It's a very violent show, but it's about superheroes being bad, right? Like, realistically speaking, if superheroes were in this world, how would they really act and be? And yeah, it's most of the superheroes are, even though they're doing good, it's all for the propaganda, the paparazzi and stuff. It's explaining a different society with superheroes where they're not all just good, crime-saving, law-abiding heroes, citizens. That's kind of the gist of it, and it's a very violent show. In this game, you are playing as a variety of the good guys, specifically the good guys, in quotations, and you're going to be going after Homelander, who is like the Superman bad guy of the show. In the game, you're going around and collecting heroes, and you collect them by defeating them, and you roll dice to shoot for the number. The game is extremely like that. That is the game. A lot of dice chucking. You're doing a lot of risk management by collecting different heroes, and the heroes are going to have like synergetic abilities, and the abilities are going to be like +4 if you have 3 Vaults, or +5 if you have these, +2 speed if another character, if you have both of these heroes, and that's kind of the gist of the game. You're going around collecting these heroes, forming up your squad, and then fly up to a space station to fight Homelander. Like I said, keep in mind, the game is a big dice checking game. It's all about luck when you're rolling dice, and you're rolling dice to aim for numbers. It's a fun game, and that's what it is. You gather around with your friends, right? You gather some beers, some good food, and then you just sit down and roll some dice and play the game. Don't think this is like a big Euro heavy style game like that. No, this is just a game where you go in and have fun. That's how I framed The Boys. This is going to hurt. This is how I framed this game, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I think I love the premise. The theme is something I enjoy the show, and the theme is awesome for me, as well as the game. It's just a lot of dice checking fun, going around. It does come down straight to it sometimes. It comes down to like the final moment where like it's the last turn before you all lose against Homelander. It's not cooperative. It is a game where you're competitively all trying to aim to defeat Homelander, and the first person to do it wins. However, sometimes Homelander wins. And it does come down to the wire. It has some very tense moments of like, I hope I can pull off this dice roll of like all 5s or 4 pluses so I can get this roll. Really fun moments. Check it out. Keep in mind one more time, you have to buy a ticket to the event where you'll get a demo, as well as get the game and get a pre-order for the future expansion coming out. Awesome. Let's move on to my next one, and my next one's going to be Resurgence. I actually talked about this game in Origins, and I managed to get a copy. However, I understood that these are going to be the last few copies, and this game's going out of print. This game might go out of print, and I had a lot of fun. Resurgence by Stan Kordonsky, really popular designer, and he did like Endless Winter. He did a couple of other games, Locked Up, I think, as well, and a couple of other ones. I think Resurgence was a great Euro game. It's based in like a Fallout style theme. If you know what Fallout is, it's like a wasteland, post-apocalyptic wasteland, and you're there and you're sending your group out to go collect resources, supplies. However, it's like a Euro game, so you go out to do missions, and when you do the missions, you get to move up points and stuff like that. It's a Euro game. It is awesome. I loved this game so much. It is a great game. I definitely think you should check it out. It's, like I said, if they have copies here, I heard it's going to be the last bit. I promise you, if you're a Euro lover and you like Fallout or that post-apocalyptic vibe with your Euro, it's different, it's fun, streamlined. I love it. Resurgence My next game, Too Many Bones Unbreakable by Chip Theory Games. This game is, I own this one as well, Unbreakable. It's from their latest campaign. I'm a big Too Many Bones fan. I have so much fun with the game. I love it. I love Too Many Bones, going in and just trying out different gear locks against different villains and all the new stuff that these things add. This is a standalone expansion, so you can actually play Unbreakable. You don't have to buy Too Many Bones, which is a good way to kind of like segue into the franchise, right? You don't want to just jump in and buy everything. Buy Unbreakable or buy even Undertow. I recommend the base box because it comes with a little more variety and it's not as complex because they don't throw in all these extra mechanics into the game. But nonetheless, it is a great game. Too Many Bones Unbreakable will be there at GenCon. I almost said a different convention. At GenCon, and Chip 3 will be selling it. Keep that in mind. Next game, Goblin Vaults by Thunderworks. Oh man, this is a great one. I am going to have some coverage coming out of this actually pretty soon. If not already, the video is going to be out soon. Goblin Vaults is a very straightforward bidding game where you have your tableau, and your tableau is going to be your vault. And in your vault, you're going to be trying to do different things like you're going to collect kind of like set collection in a way. But it's hard to explain it just specifically that way. You're going to have goals you have to achieve. When you're trying to achieve these goals, you're going to try to set them up in your tableau. And I'm trying to show you a picture of this tableau and how it looks like because it's pretty neat the way it works. And I think they did a phenomenal job. Actually, the picture was right there. There it is. You're going to have your different rows and columns, and where you have the cards, depending on how what kind and color are going to coincide with the goals and such. And you're going to be getting points at the end of the game, depending on where you aim, where you shoot to have your vault set up. It is a great game. I really enjoyed it. It's a small box with so much strategy. It was I think this game's being overlooked. I think it's just the theme maybe. Like people just don't like the theme. That's not really enticing them. If they were to retheme this game, it would be probably sell off the shelf. But the game is perfect the way it is. It matches up with what they're trying to tell, the story they're telling while playing the game. It is phenomenal. I love this game. Goblin Vaults will be there by Thunderworks, and check it out at GenCon. Next game is going to be Isofarian Guard. This game is on my radar. I don't own this game, but I really, really, really want it. But the thing is, I am not going to be carrying this big old box in my suitcase or when I fly back home. There's just no way. Isofarian Guard, if you're driving, if you have a way to take this home, they will be selling this at the convention. It is a narrative-driven adventure board game for 1 and 2 players. Cooperative games are excellent. I love cooperative games, and there's been so much talk about this game. The way it looks, I mean, look how impressive that part of the box, and that's not the whole box. These player boards, I think this is awesome. I would love to try this out. Like I said, I just cannot fathom taking it home with me. I just can't, but I want to. And I'm letting you know it's there because I'm excited to check it out and hope to at least maybe demo it. I want to play it at least one time. If I can't buy it, I want to demo it. I don't know if they're doing demos, but I'm going to look for it. Isofarian Guard is going to be one of my games at GenCon. Check it out. Next one's going to be Sky Teams. And this is a game I definitely could take home. It's a smaller game. So by La Scorpion Mask and by Hachette as well. Sky Team is a cooperative game for 2 players, and one of you plays the pilot and the co-pilot, and you're trying to control an airplane. That sounds awesome. You have to work together as a team and land your airplane in different airports around the world, and you're trying to coincide and match up your things you are doing the whole time, because if you don't, then the airplane, of course, you're not flying it properly, and it can crash potentially. I am super pumped and excited for this game. I want to try. I've heard this game at Gamma. Didn't get to demo. It was just like a showcase, so just showing it off. And I am pumped to try this out. I probably will buy a copy because, like I said, it's a smaller game, and this is what I'm really, really excited about. Sky Team by La Scorpion Mask at GenCon. Next game, Trickdraw by Good Games Publishing is going to be at GenCon. I got to play this game at Gamma, and it was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was super fun. In the game, you're going to have different cards, and you're going to determine if you play them face down or face up. And if you have them face down, they're worth a point, and you want to achieve 10 points. And there's some really cool mechanics in this game. Like the cards of things they do, they all do different things and abilities, right? And you have to determine, like, should I put it face down, then use another card to flip it back over to activate the ability, and use another card to kind of combo it. You do so many cool combos, and I am pumped. I want to play this game really bad again. I want to own a copy so I can play it over and over again. I thought it was a great game, and I think it's one. I think it might be like a game that might be in my collection. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into that comment. I'm not gonna go into that thought. I mean, but this is a great game. I love it. I definitely check it out. It's by Good Games Publishing, and they'll be there. They are awesome. I cannot wait to have a copy of this game. Coming up next is gonna be Barcelona that you can check out at GenCon. Barcelona is going to be for sale. It's by Board and Dice. Board and Dice has like a long list of games like Teotihuacan. They have a bunch of games, a bunch of great Euro-esque games. And Barcelona is another one that's similar. And look how beautiful this board looks. That looks gorgeous. I am excited. I don't know much about this game, past the fact that it's made a lot of lists, a lot of people's lists. And this is a game that I really want to play and try out. Board and Dice does a lot of great games, like a lot of phenomenal, just like Euro-style games with a lot of different awesome themes that involve different cultures and such, which I really appreciate. I love I love like the theme and the box of this so far. I am excited. I am excited. You're on. By the way, the theme. You're like builders in the 19th century in Barcelona, like working on the new district. That's kind of the thing. I'm pumped. This is one that's gonna be at GenCon. Check it out. Definitely one that is on my list, and I hope if it's not too big and if I don't have too much already, hopefully maybe purchase it. I'm not sure. Ring Circus is the next game by Deviar Games. This game is one that I have been looking at for a while. I've been looking at it and looking into it for a long time, and I'm excited to see this game and play it out. It looks very straightforward and simple. Looks like after like a couple plays, you've played it all. I could be definitely completely wrong here, but even reading the rule book. But however, the table presence, Deviar Games does a great job with like table presence in their games. They look amazing. And yeah, you're going around just being a circus, trying to gather tickets and like touring around as a circus. And you're trying to get as many points as possible doing so. Pretty straightforward. One I really want to check out. I'm a fan of Deviar Games. So far, like even Batoku is one that I enjoy from them, even though that game is like super complex, but still beautiful and fun. I am pumped. So Deviar is on my radar at all times. So Ring Circus is what I'm definitely going to be checking out at GenCon. Coming up next, none of the less, Ensemble. Ensemble is a game you can buy and demo there. Keep in mind by Ares Games, Ergaludo Edition to Ares Games. I've been talking about this game a lot, so if you watch my videos, you know that I've been mentioning this game non-stop. I've mentioned it so much, and the crazy part about this is because it's a game where you're playing cooperatively, and you're trying to, without communicating, have everyone agree on the same card that best matches the card in the middle. There's a clue on the table, and you try to match up with everyone trying to say the same card with what that clue or idea that clue is given out to you. I think that's so much fun. It reminds me of a couple of games that I really enjoy, and Ensemble is one that I at least want to demo first, just because all this excitement I have may be just too much excitement. So I want to see, maybe I'm overdoing it and it kind of clouds me up a little bit. So I want to play it first before I buy Ensemble. Check it out at Gen Con. It's one that I'm really curious about. Coming up next is going to be Sea Salt and Paper by Pandasaurus. Pandasaurus will be having this over at Gen Con. They're localizing the game. I believe that's the word. I hope I'm saying that right. And this game has been like talked about for a very long time. And I want to try it out. The origami art looks amazing. I cannot wait to see the cards in action. And I want to play the game really bad. Past this, it's like a little bit of a hand management push luck set collection game. Typical little card game. So I still want to try it. I love these games, like smaller card games. And I'm getting more into them because oddly enough, what I've noticed lately is a lot of the games I've been playing and really enjoying are usually like a card. Like they're in a box like, I don't know, like a size, like a small box, even bigger, maybe like let's say like an 8-inch box, right, in height, in length, and it has like a deck of cards, and those games are usually the funnest. So it's so cool. I want to try to see some on paper at Gen Con, and I'm probably going to pick up a copy. I mean, it's a pretty small box. I can fit it in like my carry-on or something. See some on paper at Gen Con. Check it out. Coming up next, they're going to have Expeditions at Gen Con. Expeditions by Stonemaier Games. This is their latest game. I was very fortunate enough to play a friend's copy, and I thought it was great. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. In the game, you're going to be going on by hexes, look like this. That's a map made out on the board. And at the bottom of the hex, when you go there, you're going to be taking the action that's there. For example, this is collect a green or a red worker, and this is going to be take the action of an adjacent location. And when you do these actions, you're also going to be able to combo up with cards you have in your hand. And the card in your hand is actually on the table. It's kind of confusing that way. And the cards are going to be able to slot it in on the right side, top, or bottom, depending on where they're being achieved. The game is very similar to Scythe, but does not play like Scythe. It's very similar in the sense of some of the things are very similar, just kind of like brought over, and it makes sense. I mean, it's like part 2, the sequel to Scythe. It's a great game. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this game. I want to do some coverage on it really bad, but I don't think I'll be able to pick up a copy at Gen Con just because it's actually a pretty big box game. I'll have to have it shipped eventually or buy a copy eventually. Check it out. Expeditions, if you have the space for it, definitely one that I am really pumped about. Coming up next is going to be a very simple one, but by heart, it's Marvel United. I love Marvel United. It's a very simple game, extremely simple, nothing too crazy, and it's going to be a game where it's Marvel United is a game where you have cards in your hand and you make a story. You play them on the board in a big circle, going up against a villain who you're trying to manage a different crisis going on, and that is save civilians, beat out thugs, as well as trying to eventually do damage to the main villain. Marvel United Spider-Geddon just adds some more characters to like the large amount of characters there's already. Adds some more characters to the game, and apparently it's going to be for sale at Gen Con. I like this game a lot, and the miniatures are usually so top tier. They are awesome miniatures, and as you know, I love Spider-Man. That's my favorite superhero of all time. This is a very simple game, straightforward, and I think you can probably pick up a copy at home. So if you don't have room in your suitcase, consider that. But I think you can get it first at Gen Con. So if you want it early, I'm highly considering it. Like I said, managing my bag space. I'm playing a game myself while I'm trying to like find out what games I will and won't be taking home. There's a couple that are already locked in. But here we go. Next game, Spirit Island Nature Incarnate. Spirit Island is probably one of my favorite cooperative games of all time. I love Spirit Island. I think it's a phenomenal game. Excellent game. I would play it over and over and over again. I love this game. I did not pre-order this expansion for Spirit Island, and just because I'll get it eventually, I'm sure. I don't think it was going to be an exclusive in any way, shape, or form. They've always had the things to buy, like the exclusive, like even like the premium stuff online. So Spirit Island was one that I was waiting on, and I love Spirit Island. I am definitely going to pick this up. I don't know if at Gen Con or later, but I want to make sure you're aware because I'm a big fan. I'm such a big fan of Spirit Island. I think it's a phenomenal game, one that everyone who loves cooperative games should play. It definitely is difficult to learn, but once you get like the mastery down and you understand the mechanics, I usually win almost every time. Also because we tend to we balance our hero spirits. We definitely like push it to the next degree of like knowing which spirits we're taking in to do the act, to go into the scenario. Spirit Island Nature Incarnate, phenomenal cooperative game. Check it out. My number 2 game is going to be Disney Lorcana. I am extremely excited for Lorcana. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I have some stuff pre-ordered with the local game store that I'm going to be doing for the channel, opening up for the channel and going over with the channel and stuff. I am pumped. I've never been into TCGs. I'm only into 2 currently, which is not Magic. It's going to be Lorcana, and I have another one I'm into. Those 2 specific TCGs are my only TCGs I'm ever playing for the rest of like my life. After these die and they're done, we're done. Like I'm not going into another TCG. Like I said, it's this one, and I'll say the other one. It's One Piece. The One Piece card game is another one. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I hope I can pick up some stuff here at Gen Con, like maybe like a deck box or something like that, because I couldn't get everything from my store. They're just a little sold out at the moment. So I want to get like a deck box to open up on the channel, of course, and also I want to get enough, like I want to get another like a trove chest for my nephews as well, because my nephews really want to get into it, and I want to get them some stuff so they can actually play, because I know when this comes out, it's going to be sold out everywhere, and my nephews, I want to make sure they have something so they can play as well. Lorcana, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I played a little bit at Gamma, so it's a very simple, straightforward game. Nothing too crazy complex. I am pumped. And my next game, which is my number 1 game at this point, Lost Ruins of Arnak, The Missing Expedition. I am extremely excited for this. I am so pumped. I did pre-order a copy because I'm going to be picking it up. I want this game. I want this game so bad. I almost want to go to Gen Con. I wanted to go to Gen Con specifically just to pick up my copy of this early and be able to play it. This adds to Lost Ruins of Arnak. If you haven't played, it's a worker placement deck building game, half and half, a little bit of both, more worker placement, and then it's going to be. This is going to add a co-op expansion, like a co-op campaign to the game, solo and 2-player campaign. That's awesome, and 2 new leaders as well. The biggest thing is the campaign. I am going to play that the moment I get home. Like the moment I get home, that's in the table right away. I am so excited for this. I cannot wait for this expansion. And yeah, Arnak is a phenomenal game. If you haven't played it and you like worker placement and deck building, I love it. People tend to compare it to Endless Winter and Dune Imperium. They're different games with a similar mechanic. They have different stuff. Honestly, it's just they all came out around the same time. Everyone was doing comparisons about them. I think this is a great game. Try it one time, and if I scared you wrong, then if I'm wrong, if you didn't like the fact you didn't like it, then my bad, I guess. But I love the game. I cannot wait for this one. Man, we're at the end of the video. I am extremely excited, even more excited now, to go to GenCon and check out these games. I am so ready. I have made appointments. I have already jotted out my schedule. I have a line that I'm already jotted out my map and stuff like that to know where I'm going, how I'm getting there. I'm pumped. I'm excited, and I hope to pick up at least some of these games, if not all of them, eventually all of them, because I do want to try all these games. Or at least own a copy. I've tried some of these already, and I want to own my own copies of some of these games. And of course, the games at the beginning were more like notices to you because Resurgence specifically might not even be available anymore after this. So, something to consider. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it, and if you made it this far, that is awesome. It means a lot to me. I'm not even lying to you. That's awesome that you made it this far in this video, and you'd be willing to listen to me for a whole, I don't know how long this video is, 20 minutes, I'm assuming. So thank you so much, and have a good one.